Half a day, everyone, and good afternoon. Thank you all for being here today. The Committee on Education, Air Transportation, and Statistics Research and Planning will now convene this virtual confirmation hearing. Today is Tuesday, December 1st, 2020. The time now is 2:32 p.m. For the record, I am the acting chairperson of the Committee on Education, Air Transportation, and Statistics Research and Planning, as Vice Speaker Talina Nelson is currently on military duty. In accordance with the open government law, public notices were sent out via email to all senators, stakeholders, and all main media broadcasting outlets on Friday, November 20th, 2020, and second notice was sent on Wednesday, November 25th, 2020. Notice of today's virtual confirmation hearing was also available on the Guam Legislature's website. Joining me for today for this virtual confirmation hearing is my colleague, Senator Tello Taidagui. Sidious Masi, Senator, for joining us. I'd like to also thank everyone tuning in on our YouTube channel and on the Legislature television channel. Thank you for listening. Before we proceed with this virtual confirmation hearing, the Legislature has general rules of conduct that must be followed. All must abide by the rules of conduct and quality assurance standards. Please keep your video on at all times and ensure you are in a room with little interruptions and adequate lighting, specifically to make sure the participant's face is visible at all times. The host of this hearing will mute participants until called upon by the chair. When called to speak, please ensure that you are unmuted and that you are speaking into your microphone. Members of the committee wishing to speak may indicate via the in-app chat box. Individuals testifying shall be recognized by the chair before speaking and shall state their name for the record. We will then have a round of questions for the senators after the panel has spoken. And the senators will be allowed to pose questions. We ask that questions and testimony be confined to the substance and nature of the agenda. Personal inference as to the character or the motive of any senator or individual testifying is not permitted. Any violations of these general rules of conduct will result in removal from this public hearing by the host. Today's agenda for this virtual confirmation hearing is for Dr. Matilda Rivera to serve as a member teacher representative to the Board of Directors of the Guam Public Library System. I would like to invite those who joined us today to give their testimony for Dr. Rivera. I have a list here. If you give me a second, and I will call you in the order that I see you. And if I see you in the chat as well. So first I have Luana Dominguez. I see you here. So you may begin.
Okay, I have known Dr. Rivera for almost 17 years. We started working at LBJ Elementary School, and she's a good colleague because she supports not only her students, even her families, and she also serves as a chairperson with our school committee. And she's really dedicated not only with her job as a teacher, kindergarten teacher, and then later on she moved on as an ESL teacher. And she became my friend ever since. And now that she actually transferred to Talofofo Elementary School, but she's still collaborating with us, with me actually, helping me with any resources that I need for my kindergarten class. And she's also a member of the International Reading Association as a webmaster, and she really supports the organization with promoting the literacy, and she has I could say a lot of organization that she's into, and she really dedicated her time, her talent, and her life, not only as a good leader in the community, but I could say as a friend also and a teacher. That's all I can say. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Dominguez. And now I'd like to call on Lois Gumatautau to provide testimony. I don't
Actually,
think. Mhm.
she, I believe, is driving on the road to Vegas now. So she wanted to come on. She was hoping to, but she's still en route from her Thanksgiving. She's off island.
No problem. Thank you. So we will.
She just sent a message regarding that.
Thank you so much. We have next signed up for testimony Marie Holleran. I don't see her in the Zoom room, so perhaps this is written testimony that she'll be providing. Next on the list is Josephine Laniog. Also, maybe
He's in a district meeting now. Sorry.
No problem. Also, Dr. Monique Story signed up to testify for you. And now we have Teresa Taitino. Please unmute yourself and state your name for the record before you begin.
Inaon si Teresa Taitano. Hafaday dyan maguf taluani. Huagwadesi este na oportunidad na para bayhu testigo para i-maapuntan Dr. Matilda Napati Rivera para usaw na put representante maestra, membro ni Board of Directors i Sistema Librarihan Publikon Guahan. Todo ipinaitotoo niya, iumeskwela niya gikuleho siya, isumaunaw niya giinetnon siya, hatotogwi gini ni korason niya para o-asisti sa nabansa tini itiningo gi edukasyon para i estudanti siya pamaguon zan amko. Tiha rinunsya na ha-aksepta imaapuntan niya gini ni magahagan guahan. Mentras gwi maestran segundo lenguahin fino English gi Eskwelang Departamento Edukasyon Guahan. Mamananagwi lugar lokwi gi Universidad Guahan dan i Kulehon Komunidad Guahan. Hanana i itemponya ha ofrefersi inina senyanya. Isedbisyonya pareho zangin maapasi pat dibadi. Tihinalang na hamesnguni sa esti kontribusyon niya. Megay produkto niya ni na fakta huzo gimang presenta gifina kompidensya wini gizaguahan giza Micronesia giza Amerika tat kumuhinano para i mismo lugar pat gi mausan teknoloya gi lagwan tiningo. Ifina tinas niya, ifina tiniget niya siya ni maimprenta para leblu na halom artikulo siya di gazetan profesional. Masaya amano guatu sempre hafatoigui. Put kinalanti ni edukasyon, dos lenguahe dan kultura, ifina nagwin fino English, di man pifino otro na lenguahe, i espesyal edukasyon, i profesyontin manaytay. Tihatsanda na ha konsigi ihinenggen niya. Haispia empenyo hapatay mano mafonduzi inis necesidad para utogwi dyan nakabalis ikanonya desde itinituhon esta kimonazan za tinatitizi no tinigi dokumento. Hunggan pod voluntaryo na mapatugwi gigwatu gi library siya para manazuda gi maneran teknoloya anay sumauno gi AmeriCorps. Emanaytay para ifamaguon gi durante iprograman oran istorya ang Sabado zani grupon PIBA. Imamanagwi put manggi leblu istoryan pamaguon gi tempo ni Festival Pacific Arts. Pat mas bisita guatu put interes niya zani pamaguon niya. Ti usuhazi sa minagof niya. Hutungo si Dr. Rivera sa manahami Giinet nun siya, taigwihi gininihila imaga taw-taw siha. Pacific Islands Bilingual Bicultural Association, Guam Chapter, Zani Piba International. Literary Arts component of the Guam delegation to the Festival of Pacific Arts. Zan Guahan Isan Famagutan Lions Club. Guaha otro mas na inet nun siha anay sumosaw nawgwi. Kimembro ha, gi-esti siya na inet nun, na kunto do opisyal na posisyon, zamas na webmaster gwi. Tak kilo kompensyaku para guiza si Doktora Batilda Naputi Rivera na ui kwalidad niya dan kapasidad niya para kumpli iginagaw posisyon representantin maestra na membro ni Board of Directors isisteman librarihan publikon Guahan. Zaginin inapuntan niya no imagahagan Guahan para representative ni maestra na membro ni Board of Directors. Taigweno mohan. Say na maasi no atensyon sa konsiderasyon mizu, wahu si say na minetgod si Teresa E.G. Taitano si Ewi, maestra fino kultura dan atin tradisyonal Samoro gi GDOE, Region 1 Chairwoman, Lions Club International, District 204, an immediate past president para Guahan Isan Pamagutan Lions Club. Si Zeus Maasi.
Sidzuis Maasi, thank you very much for your testimony. And last on the list, we have Sylvia Taylor. Half a day, ma'am. Please unmute yourself and we introduce yourself before you begin.
I'm sorry, forget about that. Good afternoon to all. It is with great pleasure that I recommend and endorse Dr. Rivera for as teacher representative to the Board of Directors for the Guam Public Library. I had many opportunities to be in several of her classes when I was completing my certification for language art at the University of Guam. I know she is innovative and engaging, and students hold her with high respect. She is organized and well prepared both with teacher duties as teacher, English as second language at Talapopo Elementary School, and also as coordinator for that program. And as a professor at the University of Guam and Guam Community College, she has been really excellent professor. She has been actively involved in many professional organizations and honor societies and several community partnerships such as Lions Club, as we were talking earlier about it, the Guam Federation of Teachers, American Federation of Teachers. And you know, there's so much of this that I mentioned that we will probably be here all afternoon. So we don't want to mention all that good stuff for Dr. Rivera, but we know she's an excellent professor. And Dr. Rivera is an exceptional educator and has shown incredible care and commitment to her students. I have witnessed tremendous growth of her students to their higher levels of intelligence and understanding, even to the most confusing and complicated projects. And furthermore, Dr. Rivera has a remarkable connection with students and the Guam community, especially the younger people that we have in Guam. Her extraordinary connection with students and ability will tackle every worry, including difficult challenges and deadlines, with grace and ease. Dr. Rivera's experience in the educational arena offers a wealth of knowledge that will reap benefits as she becomes a member of the board. She has always demonstrated her gift of service and dynamics in leadership roles, both in her school and in community. Dr. Rivera was instrumental in inspiring me to actually finish my master's degree. She taught me well, and I learned from her the value of a higher education and to never give up on my dream. Dr. Rivera has motivated me again to join in attending a PhD program, although I do believe that she has already earned a couple of those doctoral titles. namely the EDD in English Second Language and the EDD in Education. And her third one will be EDD in Management of Education, that we will both graduate together in 2 years from now. Dr. Rivera would be an excellent add-on for the board. Her skills, dedication, commitment to keep everyone safe and carry the educational mission for the library as she works with the board of directors of the Guam Public Library make her a perfect candidate to represent her colleagues and students. I am therefore, without any reservation, Dr. Rivera has my highest recommendation to be part of this. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Taylor. And I believe there's someone else on the line, Charlene Gumatata, if you'd like to provide testimony today. Thank you.
I have known Dr. Rivera for 17 years and have had the pleasure of working with her as a fellow teacher at Lyndon Baines Johnson Elementary School. We also work together as facilitators for the Mother Read, Father Read program, which is an adult literacy program at Lyndon Baines Johnson Elementary. Dr. Rivera has held many positions, past and current, but not limited to adjunct professor at the University of Guam, adjunct professor at the Guam Community College, ESL teacher coordinator, Mother Read, Father Read facilitator, flotilla commander at the U.S. Coast Guard, auxiliary, just to name a few. Her dedication and service to our island's educational system, as well as to many other organizations, is highly commendable. Dr. Rivera is a very honest, compassionate, dedicated, driven, hardworking, and committed person. I am confident that Dr. Rivera will be an asset as a member, a teacher representative to the board of directors of the Guam Public Library System. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Ms. Gumatao. And I see that Josephine Laniog has signed on. Ms. Josephine, if you'd like to provide testimony, I ask that you please turn on your camera. Thank you very much. And please state your name for the record before beginning.
My name is Josephine M. Laniog. I'm an educator of 31 plus years, and I have worked with Dr. Rivera for the last 2.5 years at Telefofa Elementary. So I would like to also recommend her to be on the board of the Guam Public Library System. I feel fortunate to have worked with her for those 2.5 years, and I'm grateful for all the professional advice and support she gave me since she arrived in 2018. I have been at Telefofa since 1998. During the 2 years that I worked with her, I've seen that she has been a total professional. She addresses the alignment of the DOE content standards when she's preparing her ESL lessons. She primarily services children in the ESL program who speak a home language other than English, using ESL strategies to enhance their learning experience, and which enables them to further increase their oral language skills. She has been an asset to Telefofa Elementary School in various ways, serving as, of course, the ESL educator, but also as a judge for the annual school-wide spelling bee, of which I have been the coordinator for over 20 years. She's part of the school's accreditation committee. She served as a science fair judge, and she conducts vital training during our scheduled PDs using her expertise. As a professional educator, she continues to further her technical knowledge and expertise in the field. From 2000, as far as I know, from 2018 to 2020, she has participated in various seminars and conferences to ensure she is knowledgeable in all the latest practices. She has attended 8 local educational seminars and 26 national educational conferences in the United States mainland. A lot of those she was invited to attend and sometimes to present. She, as was mentioned before, she has served as an adjunct professor at the University of Guam, the Guam Community College, and at Argosy University. Additionally, she has taught several scholarly, local, and institutional workshops and seminars since 2018. I'm only covering the years that I know of her. I've heard of her name, but I've never personally worked with her until 2018. She has also aided in the educational advancement of fellow educators by serving on the University of Guam's Master's Students Advisory Committee and the Argosy University Doctoral Student Advisory Committee. Um, During September 2018 to February 2020 timeframe, she was invited to conduct professional presentations at local, national, and international levels, which include the Guam International Reading Association in September 2018, the 48th Annual National Association for Bilingual Education Conference in Las Vegas, Nevada in February 2020, and the 38th Annual International Pacific Islands Bilingual Bicultural Association Conference in Palau in June 2019. Not only that, she was also invited to participate in national research and policy work conferences during March and June of 2019. These included the International Society for Technology in Education conference in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania in June of 2019, the National Association for the Education of Young Children Professional Institute for Early Childhood Education Professional Development Conference in California, June of 2019. And locally, the Technology Education Assessment and Management Third International Conference at UOG, March 2019. She also participates in scholarly professional activities associated with FEMA, December 2019, the International Association of Lions Clubs, District 204, from 2019-2020, which is the Emerging Lions Leadership Institute, February to March 1st, 2020, and the U.S. Coast Guard Auxiliary, September 2018, March 2019, and January 2020. She is a very actively involved member of the island community. She has held several leadership positions and has been a community member on various local councils, clubs, and boards, some which include the Guam Council of the International Reading Association, ILA, the Guahan Isan Famaguan Lions Club, the Guam Interagency Coordinating Council, and the Pacific Islands Bilingual Bicultural Association International. Her interpersonal skills are friendliness and respect for all, both children and adults, her colleagues as well as parents. She bonds well with her ESL students in all grades, kinder through fifth, and maintains a professional relationship with her colleagues and superiors. So I wholeheartedly recommend Dr. Rivera to be on the board of the Guam Public Library System. And this is coming from a fellow educator, a veteran teacher, and also a military veteran. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Niag. I appreciate your testimony today. I'm glad you were able to join us. I see that there is someone else who joined the Zoom room to provide testimony, Marissa Mears. However, she's having a hard time connecting, so we will come back to her if she's able to connect. At this time, I'd like to go ahead and read some of the duties of what a board member of the Guam Public Library System has to do. And so all the library, this is coming from the Title V of Guam Code Annotated for the Guam Public Library System. All the libraries in the library system shall be available for use by all persons in Guam in accordance with the rules and regulations which are promulgated by the board. However, the board shall have the authority to impose fines for books, late returns, or misuse of the library resources. The board shall also have the authority to establish fees for other services provided by the library pursuant to the provisions of the Administrative Adjudication Act. And we know how important the library is for our entire community, especially for students and teachers who are within our education system. And the library is also an important resource as it serves as the government depository for all governmental publications, including any printed or processed paper, book, periodical, pamphlet, or map originating in or printed with the imprint or at the expense and by the authority of the government of Guam. So there are many responsibilities as a board member of the Guam Public Library system that Dr. Rivera will have to undertake. And at this time, I'd like to give her the opportunity to introduce herself and to testify. Dr. Rivera.
Hafadig, Wahoo si Dr. Rivera. I wanted to say Sijus Maasi to all of you for the testimony. It is an honor to work in each and every one of you because we have that mission to ensure that we are in the best interest of our children of Guam. Our underlying goal is to ensure that the future of our island are well taken care of because they will in turn take care of us, right? The old folks. No, we're not old, but anyhow, we want to ensure that we have productive citizens on our island because with that in mind, we know that we will continue to sustain our culture, sustain literacy, and sustain what is good to ensure that our island is productive and will thrive for years to come. And all of that is made possible through all of us as team leaders to ensure that we give them the power to succeed. And we do that because for now, we do hold the power because we are the ones who are guiding them. But in essence, they will hold the power to ensure that our island continues to thrive and endure through generations. And with this in mind, we can perpetuate what we know to be true to ensure we have the resources that we need for our island, for our children, for our families. Patgun, our familia for years to come. Famaguon is what we, of course, have in our hearts. So in our corazon, that is what we need to ensure that we always remember. And we do so because we care. And that's the underlying goal. So, Sizus Maasi, Todos Hamzu. And I appreciate all of you. So I could break down in tears, but I'll try not to do that because we're on public television. So I just want to give my heartfelt thanks to all of you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rivera. Thank you so much. And yes, thank you to all the people who came out to testify for you today and who have also submitted written testimony. I'd like to mention that the committee received a written testimony from May Mendiola in support of your appointment to the board. So, and we will continue to collect testimony from those who wish to submit who couldn't make it on the call today. I also want to thank those who came on, but they were unable to connect properly. So I hope that they will send in their written testimony for you as well. And at this time, we'd like to open the floor up for questions from me and from Senator Tello, who's on the line with me today. First, Dr. Rivera, we heard a lot of praise for your work and for your dedication in the community. You're involved in many activities, not just in the school setting and at University of Guam, but in the community as well with your nonprofit organizations, your civic work. And that there is a lot on your plate. So I'd just like to ask if you feel that you have the time and the commitment to give fully to this organization.
I do feel I have the time because it's actually in line with what I feel I want to advocate for. It deals with ensuring the cultural resources are available for our students, and that's what I'm already doing. So it's close to my heart. So if you have that passion, naturally, the goal and mission is there because it's something that I also yearn to do to ensure that we meet the needs of our islands, to provide the resources that they deserve, the quality resources that should be made available to all.
Thank you very much. That's great to hear. I'm reassured that you have that passion and that you're ready to get working as soon as you're confirmed by the legislature. I'd also like to ask, you touched on it a little bit during your testimony, how important it is, this work for the future of our island. And we've, been experiencing this pandemic together, and it's obviously changed the way we've had to operate. So I'd like to hear from you what you have as a vision for the library system, how we can continue to adapt to serve the young people of the island and all the patrons of the library.
As we know, we're in the technology age. So I'm an ed techie, and I want to ensure that we do provide online resources at the same time. We do have some, but we can actually improve and increase what is made available to our island, our kids and families, adults, everyone, in fact. And so in doing so, we can have both the traditional as well as the online resources. So having a hybrid of the two will further enhance the availability of resources that can be made to all, so that we don't leave anyone behind, so that there are no cracks that we can ultimately fall under if we don't have the resources. And I encourage research. So in providing that leverage, we need to ensure that the resources are there.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rivera. And now I'd like to ask my colleague, Senator Tello, if you have any questions.
Sedus Masi, Madam Chair, for the opportunity. Buenas, Dr. Rivera. It's good to see you.
Buenas, Senator Tello.
I want to thank you first and foremost for stepping up to the plate. You have a lot on your plate already, but I have no doubt that you can do an excellent job in representing especially in your capacity as a teacher's rep for the Guam library system. I don't know if the chairman had the opportunity to mention everyone that has provided testimony on your behalf. It's so extensive. I would cry if you were to read the amount of testimony that came in here. So, you're definitely forgiven if you shed a tear on this one, because I would just all the people like Lou Klitsky, Melvin Wanpat, Patricia Kachocho, John, who is this, Joanna Salins, Vera De La Cruz, Dr. Monique Story, Eloise Sanchez. These are heavy hitters. These are people, and you've touched a lot of people, especially those who testifying today. Sylvia Taylor, who I know Sylvia for many years, when I used to do pictures at the schools and used her lovely library always. And, to encourage teachers to pursue, higher education. I mean, that speaks highly of you. Now you have me in tears just thinking about that, but I know you're going to do a great job. However, there is a couple things that I was hoping Dr. Rivera, Matilda, I love that name, by the way. I love that name. The website, and if you go to the website for the Guam Public Library System, it's not up. It's not up and running. And I know you're a techie person, so I'm counting on you to make sure that the Guam Library System has their website up to give information to everybody in the community, especially the goals that you have for the Guam Library System. People need to know about it. And the importance now, since we're in this COVID, that everyone relies a lot on the online and social media. So it's very helpful. So I'm hoping, Dr. Rivera, you take up on that, make sure that website is up and running. So
definitely, Senator Tello. That will be one of the first things on the agenda.
Yay, thank you so much. I know it's going to get done. Again, I'd like to thank everyone who's here. See, Taitano, good to see you again. Teresa, good to see you. And everyone who else is here, Dominguez, as well as Matautal, Sidus Masi, I know she greatly appreciates you being here, as well as I do, to hear it from you yourself, how great a person Dr. Rivera is. Sidus Masi again.
Thank you very much, Senator Tello. And yes, thank you to all of you for being here today to provide your testimony. And Senator Taitigui is right. There is an extensive list of testimonies that were submitted from members of our community. And so that will all be available within the committee report for you, Dr. Rivera. I'd also like to mention that 2 members of the Guam Library Board were also on the call to be here to express their support for you, and that was Marissa Mears and Nicole Nelson. And with that, I'd like to conclude the hearing. Congratulate you, Dr. Rivera, on this appointment to the board. I wish you all the best. I look forward to confirming you in our next session in a week from now, in our December session. I would like to thank you for your commitment to the students of Guam, to education. I know that you will bring a very beneficial perspective to the work of the Guam Public Library. And we are looking forward to everything that you will do to help us adapt and have these resources available to our community. So, Sidzuas Masi. All right, and the time now is 3:08 p.m. This virtual confirmation hearing is now completed. The committee will continue to accept written testimony for the next 3 working days, and testimonies may be sent via email to Senator T.C. Nelson at guamlegislature.org or delivered to the office of Vice Speaker Talina Nelson at Suite 202A Aspinall Avenue, Hagåtña, Guam 96910, or to the Guam Congress Building, 163 Chalan Santo Papa, Hagåtña, Guam 96910. The hearing will be replayed here on our legislature channel, and it will be available on our YouTube channel as well. So Sidzuas Masi, everyone. For the record again, the time is 3:08 p.m. and this concludes our public hearing. Adios.
Thank you.